Okay, so basically, just to introduce myself, my name is Cecilia. I was previously a student of BSBI, currently working with BSBI as a program consultant. And joining me on this today's webinar is Mi Alves. She is one of BSBI's most prominent students. She's currently a student of BSBI. She is originally from Brazil. She's very well traveled. She's also an influencer who decided to study here with us at BSBI. So together, we will both be sharing our experiences with you about living and studying in Berlin in total. Okay, so while we wait for me, just to give you an overview of who BSBI is. So BSBI is currently a business school. We are located in 4 countries in total. Sorry, 3 countries, 4 cities in total. We are located in Berlin, Hamburg, Paris, and Athens. So, I mean, as an institution, for you as a student, this is very beneficial to you because you get to have an international experience, on all of these 4 campuses. So, for instance, if you want to study in Paris, move to Berlin later on, you can absolutely do so. If you want to study in Hamburg, move to Berlin, or in Athens or Paris, basically anywhere at all in the world. Sorry, I mean, in these 4 cities, you can study, on any of these campuses. I mean, additionally, we have a wide range of programs ranging from bachelor's to PhDs. So as you know, I mean, as a business school, we usually we do not afford or award our own qualifications. We partner with higher accredited institutions to ensure that the degree we are offering to you is actually on a very high level. So we currently have 3 partners. We have CUC, which is Concordia University of Chicago. We also have UCA, which is University of Creative Arts, and also Uninotuno. So Uninotuno is basically an Italian-based institution. We have CUC, which is an American accredited institution. We also have UCA, which is UK accredited institution. So basically studying with us, you do know and it's assured that once you're done with your studies, your degree is not just recognized in just Germany or in Berlin. Your degree is recognized in Europe, in Germany, in Europe, and the UK, America, Canada as well. Okay, so Mi, are you able to?
Yes, I'm here. I'm just couldn't turn my camera on. I'm sorry, guys, but it's basically technical issue that I'm facing today. But
Okay.
I'm here. I'm here. You guys can hear me.
Yeah, sure, that's fine. Okay, so Mi, I would want to introduce our prime guest, which is Mi Alves. So Mi, do you mind introducing yourself to us?
No, not at all. First of all, thank you very much, Cecilia, for having me in this webinar. As you said, I'm a BSBI student. I'm studying digital marketing. I'm doing a master's, and I arrived in Berlin 6 months ago. My intake was in October 2021. I've been working as a digital influencer for the past 8 years.
Wow.
The niche, the specific niche, and like all my approach and my audience, it's about travel and exchange programs, especially I talk to women's from like 20 to 30, 18 to 35 pretty much, who really want to have this experience abroad and wants like someone to encourage them, inspire them somehow.
Yeah, excellent. Wow. Whew. This is a very detailed profile, actually. That's cool. Okay, so Mi, I mean, inquiring minds want to know. Obviously, you are well traveled. You have been to a lot of countries. So, what attracted you to study with BSBI? Basically, even to study in Germany.
If I'm being 100% transparent with you, like the first thing that really caught my attention was because it's cheaper than like other countries in Europe, especially if we compare to the UK, for example. And when I knew about the possibility that I could have studying a course in English, but in Germany, and especially in Berlin, a city that I visited in 2019, and I fell in love. it just like came all together, and just like it was kind of the perfect plan, because I don't think most people really know that they could have this experience and this opportunity also to study like uh, in English, but in Germany, such a nice and especially Berlin diverse city. So it was like a combination of all these factors that made me to choose Berlin.
That's excellent. Well, that's very impressive. So, I mean, if I may ask, what program are you currently studying in BSBI?
And digital marketing, the master's I'm
Digital
doing.
marketing. Okay, yeah, I remember you mentioned it earlier, but we just wanted to be clear. That's
Yeah.
excellent. Okay, so basically before arrival into Germany, I mean, we know that you were an influencer and all of that, but we just want to know or get to know more about you. So, what were you doing prior to, you studying with BSBI?
Oh, well, as all process in like universities and in educational institutions, you have a bunch of documents to gather together. So I had to, just get to know more about the documents that we would need. I also had to take English proficiency test. I did IELTS at that time. But I know BSBI accepts a lot more of proficiency tests. Um, Also, I had to plan myself, like not only like with the documents and stuff, but professionally and personally, because it's a big change. So like I have my cats still at home and my
Oh,
family.
really?
I
Oh, a
had
car.
like, yeah, I have this preparation of like saying goodbye to everyone, and it's just like a big step that we
Yeah,
take when we chose to study abroad, especially
yeah.
for like a long time, as it is the master's. It will be a year and a half. So I still have one more year,
Mhm.
and now I really can't decide if I want to come back or not, because I'm just super in love with Berlin.
I know. I mean, I do. I mean, I'm from Ghana. I don't want to go back. Not that I don't love my country. I love my country, but I mean, of course, life out here is, very beautiful. So personally, I'm also working towards, permanently settling here in Germany. I mean, in Berlin to be precise. So of course, I do relate, with you
Oh,
regarding you permanently, exactly,
and
wanting to
now
live here.
I can, and something that I really like, and like just it was like the best thing for me, because I always love to
Mhm.
travel, and when I
Yeah,
mixed my career, my job with traveling, it was like the perfect match. And
yeah.
being in Berlin, living in Germany, having like so many countries around, and like this cheap
Mm.
flights to go to different
No.
places in Europe, like that's just a part of the whole experience, and
Yeah,
so that's very
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's very true. I've been here for, I think, 3 years, and within the span of 3 years, at least I have managed to touch base with a lot of the EU countries, which is, also part of the experiences that, of course, we'll share with you or our viewers. And
Yeah.
the one thing that, sort of basically, impresses me is the fact that flights are very cheap. You can literally travel anywhere under budget. So if you're a student and you're broke, of course, you can,
Definitely.
even on 100 euros, you can travel anywhere in Europe and still
Yeah,
survive.
yeah,
Perfect.
yeah. That's one of
Okay.
the best parts.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so getting to know more about your activities as an influencer. Can you tell us more about your activities as an influencer? I mean, when exactly, did it start? I mean, how did it start? What motivated you to start being an influencer? Maybe we are just curious to know.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's a nice story, because actually I graduated in advertising in Brazil.
Oh,
So yeah, so like my professors always encourage
mm,
us as students to kind of have our space on internet.
yeah,
So they say
yeah,
it's nice for you to have like a Facebook profile or like an Instagram account, but also try to think outside of the box. And at that time, that was like 2010, 2011, because I'm kind of old.
You don't look at that.
The thing was to have like a blog, you know, a website. YouTube wasn't like that big at that moment, but during the period that I was studying advertising, I created a blog with a friend, and then I had to like stop my course in Brazil to travel for the first time when I chose to go to be an au pair in the US. It was in 2014. So like during this whole university time, I like posted on this blog with some friends, but then they decided that they want to do something else. So I was like just me in the blog, and I was like posting a lot about it. And then I started to post about my experience living in the US. That was like my first experience abroad.
Abroad,
Um,
okay. And it
yeah,
was in
and
2014.
yeah,
2014.
2014. And then when I started to talk about, people just got more and more curious, and they asked me to do like videos that would be like easier for them to understand and for me to, you know, just explain how things works. So I did a bunch of videos on YouTube to talk about like how you can be an au pair, how much I pay for it, how my experience going. But it wasn't like, you know, oh, I really want to work with this, or I really want to be a YouTuber. Because if you watch my first videos, oh my gosh, don't do that, please. But it's like, it's just like I'm very shy and timid, you
Are
know.
you?
Yes, like you cannot tell that it's me, really. But
Interesting.
then I got like I just started to like that, to make videos and to help people, because then I started to receive a lot of emails like, Shell, because of your video, I'm being an au pair right now. Thanks for all the information you gave me, and blah blah blah. And then I was like, I started to realize that I would like to keep doing it. So I just like took my channel as not just as a hobby anymore, but like I will try to make this happen. And that's how it started. So in 2014, I started doing the au pair program, this experience in the USA that I was having. And since that, I visited like 20 and something countries. This is like my ninth experience studying abroad. So like there's a lot of things on my channel, and a lot of like trip diaries and things like that.
Yeah. Wow, that's really interesting. I mean, I'm tempted to ask, I mean, how many countries you've visited in total, but I'm sure we'll keep counting and counting to no
Oh,
end. So I'm just gonna hold on to that question for now. Okay, so me, I mean, let's get to the topic of your journey or your experiences moving to Germany. So, I mean, could you tell us, what your journey was like moving from Brazil to Germany? Were there any challenges you faced with regards to, getting over to Berlin?
mhm. Well, I think the first challenge was during the whole process, because like when I came, there was the pandemic going on,
Yeah,
and like the borders were closed. So like this anxiety of like not knowing when I will travel, you know, like when I
yeah,
will really go to Berlin. And it really stressed me out, and not just me, but a lot of like other Brazilians that I know
yeah.
that just came at the same time, and not just for study, but like to work and so on. So that was like the first kind of thing that really stressed me out. But then when I arrived in Germany, we should
Mm,
say that there's a lot of bureaucracies here and a lot of things that are different than Brazil. It's a totally different language. I don't know
yeah.
how to speak German. Um, and I keep receiving those letters that just makes me crazy, because I need the translate to, you know, take a picture and try to
Yeah.
understand what they want to tell me. Like I never know if I'm like, you know, I have to pay something, or if I did something wrong because it's so in German. So thank God now I have some friends that speaks German, and
Yeah.
they can help me with that. But like when you arrive, it's very common to feel like, like that feeling, oh my God, what I'm doing, did
Yeah.
like the right decision, and what if. So I think this is totally fine.
Mhm.
I used to say that if we don't feel these, like those butterfly in the stomach,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
because life is not worth it, because you really need to
Exactly.
go forward and take
Exactly.
out yourself from the comfort zone. So yeah,
Exactly.
it wasn't like, you know, 100% okay, but I'm
Yeah.
here, I'm still alive, and I'm fine. I'm very happy. Thank you.
No, I mean, yeah, to be honest, I feel you on that. And I mean, just to, put it in plain words, so I don't believe that any of us are here, pitching the whole idea of, the German dream or the American dream sort of, on a bed of roses. I mean, every journey itself, has its own challenges. So, okay, give me a second. I'm getting a call. So, like I said, every journey itself, has its own challenges, but with every challenge, it also comes, with rewards. I mean, at the end of the day, you went through this experience, but now you're here, you're enjoying life in Berlin. So, for me, I always recommend to everyone to take advantage of globalization, move out of your comfort zone, and of course, gain some international experience. So, I mean, it doesn't matter if you want to permanently stay here or, go back home, but just put yourself out there, get out of your comfort zone, gain some European experience. If you want to go back home, fair enough. If you want to stay, like I want to stay, get to stay.
Exactly. And like, I know life it's very comfy in our comfort
Yeah,
zone, but if we never take this first step and try
yeah,
something different, we will never know.
yeah,
And it's not something like that you make a decision and you can then never regret, or you can
yeah,
never like learn something from it. You are
yeah.
always learning, and this is the funny and the nice part of living.
Yeah. I mean, the adrenaline, the roller coaster, I mean, everything makes it, what life should be, as a matter of fact. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and being like being a woman,
Mm.
is just like more challenge, and knowing that, like, oh gosh, I was so brave to be here,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
to leave everything behind,
yeah,
and just like it just makes me stronger, because
yeah,
now I know that I can, that
yeah.
I need to do this again.
Yourself.
I know that I can do it, so
Mhm.
it's just like, yeah, it's a lot to process, but it's awesome, it's worth it.
It's awesome.
Definitely.
It's awesome. Perfect. Okay, so digging deeper into your experiences in Germany, so tell us, I mean, what were your first few weeks like, at BSBI and in Germany in total? How did you manage to settle in? Because you did mention you had, quite some challenges. So we are curious to know how you overcame those challenges, managed to settle in.
Yeah, well, first of all, the first days were awful because my luggage didn't arrive.
Oh my
So so I was just with my carry-on and like one pants, one t-shirt, and like one towel. That was it.
God.
Thank God I had this idea to like put like some clothes in my
Yeah.
carry-on, like with my laptop and things, because the two other suitcase, like the big ones that it was with
Mm.
me, it didn't came in. It was just like 3 days after I arrived in
How?
Berlin that they arrived. So that was kind of stressful. And also I had like to call the
Mm.
airport, and it was
To
all
try
in
and
German.
trace
So
your
that was like
luggage.
the first challenge. Like, okay, I don't know which number to press to like to get my problem solved, because I'm not understanding anything. So that was like super challenge at first. But then right after that, I got my second dose, like my vaccine
Of
shot.
vaccination,
That was
yeah.
very nice. Yeah. Also, I did my Amelden on that like first 10 days. There was
Oh
like I
no.
felt, oh, okay, one more step is done, like checked
Yeah.
on my huge list of things that I should do. And right after that, like 4 weeks, I think, I managed to take my visa because as a Brazilian, we take the student visa here in Germany,
Oh,
in
okay.
our home country. Yeah.
Okay.
So all these process, like the bureaucracy, is really
Mm,
at the same time that was kind of stressful because I worry about like if it's going to be okay or not, if I will
yeah.
understand the person or not, or
Yeah.
at the same time that it stressed me out, also calms me down a lot when I saw like step by step going okay, going
Yeah.
on the right way and the right path. So
Yeah.
like when I did my Amelden, I was like, yay, now I really feel as a Berliner,
You
like it's
achieved
just like
something, literally.
little things that you do and then makes just you feel like more belonging to the place.
Yeah. Yeah.
So definitely, but then like I arrived like 4 weeks before my course
Oh,
start because I wanted to enjoy a
y-
little bit of the city. Don't worry
yeah.
too much about classes before. Like I want to settle
Just
things
to
down
navigate,
before.
before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Also, like I got the chance to know some of the students that it's now
Oh.
they are now studying with me.
Mm,
We had a chance to like do some things together before class started, so that was very fun. But then when the class finally started,
mm,
we had the first day, the induction day, to understand more about BSBI and how class will
yeah.
work and get to know some of the professors. Also, I remember like the real first class that was like very emotional because it was like, this is my first ever class, in the masters. Like, I will never have a first class anymore. So that was like very, oh, I'm kind of this kind of person, like I'm very emotional for like first things. So, yeah, that was very nice. And it's just like being very pleasant to
Yeah.
study at BSBI and get to know so many people from different countries. We
Yeah.
have like this mix of nationalities that is huge, and that really shows me how people think differently
Yeah.
depending where they are from and like their values and their culture. So this is one of the most fascinating things for me, like truly speaking, because especially studying digital marketing, that it's all about like communication and
Yeah.
modern world, and it's just so nice to have these discussions in class and
Yeah.
understand how things works differently in each country and what people thinks about this and that, because it's not like math that it's like the same rule for the whole country. It's
Yeah.
just like more about people and communication. Like this is the most fascinating things for me
Yeah.
to be a
Really.
student there.
Wow. Whew. I mean, what a journey. I mean, talking about mine, I'm sure we're going to sleep here, but just just to like give
No
you an overview,
way.
I think I had a completely different, sort of, yeah, different experience
Uh-huh.
moving in. I can't remember. I mean, the first time I arrived in Germany was in 1st April 2019. So immediately I got out of the airplane, and of course the cold air blew onto my face. I just ran back into the airplane. I was like, can we go back home? I want to go home.
It's
It
too
was so
cold.
freezing.
And
Exactly.
it was even
I mean,
April. It wasn't like
it was in
November.
exactly. I mean, I'm from Africa. I'm from Ghana. The temperature is
Yeah.
war.
Yeah.
So, experiencing such a cold weather for the first time, I was freaking out. I was calling my mom, can you book a flight for me to come back home? But thank God nobody booked the flights because, 2 or 3 years down the lane, I look at myself and the challenges I went through, and I absolutely know that, of course, this was worth it. But what really also helped me with settling in was before my arrival. I mean, I went on Facebook. I also tried to, contact other agencies to, get in touch with some Germans. So I had two German friends ahead of my arrival into Germany. The two of them really, really helped me. On my second day, they
Oh,
just,
that is so
moved.
lucky of you.
I know. I mean, I was so lucky. They just traveled to Berlin because they knew I was freaking out. They traveled to
Yeah.
Berlin. They came to, they helped me out in terms of, moving my stuff around, settling into my accommodation, assistance with, the transportation system. Because, of course, I need to navigate my way around. And we are not used to the whole, using Google to, navigate your way. You just either drive or walk to wherever you want to go or use the public transportation because you know your way. So having to navigate a new public transportation altogether without, basically any no German language at all. I think that was part of my challenges. But at the end of the day, I learned that, the tricks. Just read as much as possible. There are directional signages everywhere. You cannot get lost in this country. That for
Oh
sure.
no.
You have
Yeah. Yeah.
internet. Just read and follow instructions. That is
And
it.
it's so nice how like even like I don't know German yet, but like
Yeah.
how the language just feels more comfortable in my ears right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
You know, after like hearing it so like every day for 6 months, and like you just get to know some words, and
Yeah.
then just like it's so nice when
Yeah.
you see a word or someone talking and you
Yeah.
can catch the like the the main part
Yeah.
of it.
True.
It was like, yay, I got it, I
I
understand.
got it. I mean, what was interesting as well, of course, taking advantage of the free German lessons, being offered by BSBI to me also really helped me because I had zero knowledge. So I think going forward, of course, for me, my advice is before you arrive here, just download the Duolingo app, learn the basics of German because it will be very useful when you arrive here,
Yeah,
literally. So of course
definitely.
that,
Yeah,
yeah, that
that's a
helped.
super tip. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So moving on, me, I know, like I said earlier, you have traveled to a lot of countries. We cannot keep count of the countries you've traveled to, but we are just curious, what made you decide to, settle in Germany or choose Germany to be precise? We are curious. We just want to know.
I think like I didn't choose Germany in a sense like the country, but I
Mhm.
felt that Berlin chose me
Oh,
because
yeah.
I visited the city in 2019 during a Euro trip that I did by myself, just me
Okay.
and a backpack for 30 days.
Okay. So
I
this wasn't your first trip into Berlin.
It wasn't. I came before,
Oh,
like I was here in 2019, but only for 5 days.
okay.
And I also have this recorded on my channel that I was in the Museum Island. Uh,
Mm,
I was sitting on the grass. It was a sunny day in April,
mm,
and I was like talking to camera, and one of the things that I said was, I could live here. Like I really see myself living in Berlin because I love this city. I love the
yeah.
people. I love the colors. I love how different and diverse this city
Yeah.
is. And then like we cut to like 2 years later, I'm
Yeah.
here. So it's just crazy. I just feel that I don't know, my soul, my
Mm,
lifestyle matches with
yeah.
Berlin,
Yeah.
and that's what makes me want to think to stay longer than I
Yeah.
expected before, and also like the connections with people that
Yeah.
I made already.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just feel that I will have like many opportunities here as
Yeah.
well. Berlin is a city full of opportunities, especially
Yeah.
like marketing, technology in general.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like a very welcoming city, different from like the time that I used to live in USA, that I've always
Mm.
felt as a foreign, as someone
Oh,
from outside. Here I
wow.
feel as just part as everybody
Yeah.
else, because everybody
Yes.
is from a different country. Everybody has a
Yes, true.
different
It is
background.
so diverse and international. I mean,
Yeah. So you don't really feel like, oh,
yeah.
I don't belong here. No, you just feel that everybody is from different places, and that
Yeah.
what makes Berlin is like how
Yeah.
it is.
True. True, true. I mean, just to share my experience, for me, there were three main things that motivated me to actually settle for Germany. To be
Mhm.
honest, I mean, what impressed me the most was the fact that, in Berlin or in Germany in total, you can have the experience of the fast, city life, as well as the quiet, suburban experience. So
Oh
basically,
yeah.
from where I come from, of course, you have to be rich to live in the suburbs, but over
Mhm.
here in Berlin, you can be broke and still live in a nice, quiet, suburban area and still feel important, literally. So, secondly, unlike the typical stereotype where people believe that, like Germans are strict and blunt. It is actually very different. It's,
Mhm.
very easy for Germans to actually warm up to you, basically. So, of course, we all know that they are blunt and strict, but which is true. But of course, if you meet, a German in a non-formal environment, they're probably the warmest person ever. And the little trick, actually very, very hilarious, not as serious and strict as, most people think. I mean, the trick is just, express the interest of, either wanting to learn the German language or speaking the basic, words of the German language. And quickly, everyone will just switch to speaking English with you. I mean,
Mhm.
personally, that is how, I have, made a couple of German friends. And as a matter of
Mhm.
fact, and to me, the fact that they are very blunt and straight and straightforward, to me, it gives you the opportunity to know what you're up against. I mean, they are very, very sincere and honest. So if someone is very honest with you in the face, you know what you're up against. So you know how to manage yourself around them. Whereas from my background, of course, we are trained to be very polite, bottle up our emotions. But over here, it's a totally different situation altogether, which
Mhm.
I actually like. I mean, also, basically, the standard of living actually is, very high as well. So if you take a look at, the rules and the orderliness and of course the paperwork and all the cultural preferences itself, they actually make provisions for a very high standard of living, i.e. look at how the pandemic was managed in Germany, to be precise. Look, I mean, groceries over here are also very cheap. The rich and the poor all also shop, shop in the same place. There's no
Insane.
disparity between,
Yeah.
groceries for the rich and groceries for the poor. Something that I really like. Additionally, the salary ranges are also quite solid. I won't lie about it. I'm not saying this because I'm employed with BSBI, and I'm not
Actually, and
saying that my
this
salary is
part,
very high, but
yeah, I don't have any idea about it. That's nice to for you to just talk a little bit about the
yeah.
salary because I don't work here yet, but
Mm.
it's always good to know.
Yeah, actually it is, because I had the opportunity to, have students' jobs, and the way it is structured, I mean, as of now, um, the current minimum wage is now 12 euros per hour. That's the minimum wage. So even as a student, if you are working 20 hours per week, calculate 12 times 20 per week. That's a lot of money. I mean, I was living, I'm even making savings on my blocked account before I managed to get a part-time job. So that alone shows you, how the standard of living is quite manageable over here in Germany. And of course, the transportation system. I love the transportation system. Very
Oh
well
yes.
connected.
Yes, I just came back from London
Oh,
and like 4 weeks ago. And
yeah.
like I know the London Underground, it's huge. It's like it was the
Mm.
first underground in the world. But like
Oh,
seems that Berlin look at London's underground and made
yeah.
it better, like
Yeah.
just improve it because
Yeah.
it's so much like it's not clean like
Mhm.
100%, but it's cleaner than London. It's more spacious. The stations and like the lines, everything is so
Yeah.
well connected. It just
Yeah.
works.
Yeah. And the transportation system, I mean, transport fares are actually very cheap as
Yeah.
compared to other countries. It's very, very affordable as
Hmm.
compared to other countries. Okay, me, so back to you.
Yeah.
Back to you, me. So tell us about you, your experience studying with BSBI, because I understand when you joined BSBI, the pandemic has started. So, how was studying throughout the pandemic? What was your social life like during the pandemic, and of course studying in BSBI?
Well, I came to Berlin on like by the end of September, and the classes started on October. And I remember a lot of professors wasn't in Berlin yet because of
Mm,
visa and like
yeah,
pandemic and things like
yeah,
that. So a lot of the first classes were online. So I had to manage like to, you know, just try to balance like my expectations, because I know that it was like something very delicate, that it wasn't just me
Yeah.
facing, you know, it's like
Yeah.
everybody in the world were,
Global. Yeah.
yeah, and like some of them still are. So yeah, I just like try to see as like a phase that will get better. So soon, like December, we went back to the campus, and even with like some restrictions,
Yeah.
I could like have classes on campus that like really changed the experience that I had being a student, because it was nice to see the professors in person and the
Yeah.
students, the classmates. Also, I just felt more like connected to the
Yeah.
subjects, and just more willing to participate and to discuss, you know, during the class. So that was
Yeah.
like really nice, because we all know how hard it can be studying
Yeah.
online.
Yeah.
And I think at this point, nobody really, you know, enjoys anymore, because they're just like, oh gosh, I want all this to be over. But, you know, um, now it's just like so much better. Also, like things are very, like getting very good right now here in Germany, in Berlin. The restrictions going off. So just
Yeah.
feels like more normal, and I feel that the experience will just get better from now.
Yeah. Yeah, excellent. Absolutely, you're absolutely right. Thankfully, we started, before the pandemic. So for us, when the pandemic started, we were submitting our thesis. So we were just happy to stay at home at the
Yeah,
time
oh
being.
yeah,
We're
I
just
know.
excited. We're just done with campus life. But I mean, of course, it was exciting, to be on campus. We also missed most of our colleagues as well. And the most important thing is the staff, because most of us also got used or attached to the BSBI campus staff as well. So not being able to meet them in person was also part of the challenges. But thank God the pandemic or most of the regulations have been lifted and things are almost, moving back to normal. So we are really grateful for that. So me throwing the spotlight back on you, you did mention, of course, the regulations and the pandemic. So just to, pick up a few from there, how did you manage to deal with, the changes to campus regulations due to the pandemic and of course, studying remotely?
Um, I I just like, of course, it wasn't like the experience that I wanted, but as I said, I tried to put in my mind that like this is not something that
Yeah,
I was facing. Everybody was. So it's not that
yeah,
got easier, but it's just
yeah,
like makes me understand better, like, you know, that okay, this is how it
yeah,
is, and I cannot do anything about it. So let's just try to be more positive,
yeah,
and, you know, just keep positive mind.
yeah,
But I found easier than I thought, because at the same time I wasn't at home, like I wasn't in
mm,
Brazil, so I could at least like after class do something different with my
yeah,
friends. And even if I don't see them on campus, some of them were already here, so I could
yeah,
see them after class, or we could like sometimes we went to one of my friends' house, all of
mm.
three together, to have the online class from her house. So like,
Oh, okay.
you know, so we were like trying to, you know, keep the distance, as like just trying
Yeah,
to go, let's just trying to see the same persons, you know, like
mm,
they have our bubble of
yeah,
like social bubble, so we knew that we were safe, but
yeah,
also everybody needs like this social connection.
yeah,
So being uh, far from home, and like having this situation, the pandemic situation going on, can be very hard.
yeah,
And we found out that being together, spend time together, like even if it was like to follow a class, online class, was it could be fun. So that's what we did. So yeah, and also like especially during winter time, you
mm.
know, it's very cold and dark. So that's another like kind of problem that we face here. It's just like we are laughing, but we would like to cry.
No, I mean, actually, now we can afford to laugh because you've gone through it, you've survived. And
Exactly.
I mean, to be honest, I believe everyone can, of course, survive as well, unless, of course, you want to give
Oh
up
yeah, for sure.
prematurely. And I don't think that anyone would make, such an investment and want to give up at the end of the day. So, hey, girl,
Oh no, 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 no.
proud of you to
But
have gone through
like
it.
it's just different, and I try to,
Yeah,
like, that's the thing. I try to see things as like, oh, I'm outside my country. I'm already outside of my comfort zone. So
yeah,
let's make the most of it. Like, even if it's
exactly.
raining, it's dark at 3 p.m., there's like nobody in the street, I will try to do
Yeah,
something fun, you know?
definitely, absolutely. I think you're just like me. Okay, that's excellent. All right. So I know we're running out of time, but just to keep it more active as well. So, May, can you tell us your overall experience, studying with BSBI, where what kind of support did you receive from BSBI in general?
In general, well, everybody is very friendly and kind. Also, like, I didn't have much issues, like, until now, but I see like some friends that had some situations and they could
Yeah.
easily get solved it, so that's nice. Also, like, I feel that they hear us when we have
Yeah.
something to, like, just the feedbacks, like, they're
Mhm.
always trying to get feedbacks from the students. That's very nice. And also, not just like hearing them, but also take into consideration, so that's cool.
Okay.
Another thing that I really like, it's the nationality mix.
True.
Studying and having class with professors and students from different backgrounds and
Personalities.
countries. It's just like super
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
So I think that, like, the combination of all those things,
Yeah.
um, it's what it's making my experience being so nice and so pleasant.
Actually, I think this is very true. I mean, I share, basically, I can relate to this as a student.
Yeah.
And I quite remember, I mean, being a student, I remember there was catering as well. And during my first, arrival or my first weeks, of course, I was having challenges. I remember always being in Catherine's office. If I have a headache, Catherine, I have a headache. Catherine, I'm broke.
Oh my gosh.
No, of course, I'm not coming to ask for money, but
Yeah.
literally, that was how much I frequented, the BSBI office. I'm sure I was a very problematic student. Everyone was tired of me, literally, but at
Yeah.
least even if they were, I don't think anybody expressed the fact that they were tired of me, always budgeting to their office unannounced and demanding or requesting for stuff. Everyone was super, super supportive. And
Yes.
I think there was also a time where I think I was having challenges adapting, especially when the pandemic started.
Hmm.
So of course I need to come in, and I mean I just needed help generally. Guess who was available? Catherine, always available, dealing with my issues, depression and stuff. She was always there providing counseling, sending me, job recommendations if I need to apply
That's
for any job at all. I'm basically in Catherine's office or student services office, and everyone is there to support or help, suggest, give you suggestions, or even send over your documents for A, B, C, D. So to me, I mean, what motivated me to even opt to work for BSBI was the fact that I experienced all of these as a student with BSBI. And so to me, I want to give out the same support to other students to have that
mhm.
experience that I had. So honestly speaking, it's been a very, the best experience so far. I wouldn't have chosen any other institution, as a matter of fact.
Oh, that's so nice to hear. And also, like, you remind me something
Yeah.
that the SBI, like, do all the time, that it's having like webinars and conversation with the CEO and
Yeah.
like another discussion. So like they're always trying to, like, be in touch
Yeah.
with the students. And if you as a student really wants to participate of those things, you're gonna have
Yeah.
a chance to really
Yeah.
understand more about the institution
Yeah.
and, like, just get inside of this,
Yeah, true. I mean, to me, the fact that, I mean, of course, we being a student, the fact that you're on the campus and you can just bump into the CEO at any time, to me, was exciting to me because
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
just bump into him, talk to him, ask him any question at all. And he's very friendly as well. So, I mean, personally, those are part of the things that I really enjoyed about my experience with BSBI and why I actually decided to, take the bold step to work with BSBI as well. Okay, so me throwing the spotlight back to you. The spotlight is on you. I don't want to take it. Okay,
Oh,
so taking into consideration all your experiences so far, what would you say to other students who are thinking of coming to Germany or studying with BSBI? What advice or what would you like to tell them?
Ooh, that's a tricky one. I would say that will be making the best decision of your life,
Yeah,
basically, because so much things in my life change
yeah,
since the moment that I decided to do something for myself, like professionally, personally. Studying abroad is not just about like getting knowledge, and
yeah,
it's a lot about this, but I think the people that you know, like you get to know so much more about yourself. As
yeah,
we were saying in the beginning of the webinar, we learn a lot about ourselves and how brave we could be.
yeah.
So like just if you're afraid of something, just go with with
Yeah.
this feeling,
I mean,
just trust.
just do it like Nike,
Yeah,
just do it.
exactly,
Literally, take that
exactly,
step.
because life passed by so fast, like we
Yeah,
just need to take the opportunities and enjoy the most of it. So,
yeah.
and I'm pretty sure like if you choose Berlin, if you choose BSBI, you can see through my stories on Instagram and my videos on YouTube, I'm having like the best
Time of
like
your life.
like I'm really enjoying my time here, and I'm pretty sure a lot of my friends that I made
Oh,
in at
I'm glad
BSBI
to
are
know.
having like a blast also.
Yeah,
So, it can be very challenged sometimes,
yeah,
but this is just what we call life,
yeah,
and
I know.
it's just what makes everything so special. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow, you're glad to know. You're glad to know. So me talking about the future, what plans, what are the plans for the future? Do you intend to, what do you plan to do for the
I'm trying
future?
to I'm trying to live in like one day per time, like one day at once. I think I can say that. I don't know in English the proper
One
way
day
to
at a
say it, but
time. I mean, that's a good strategy though. I should learn that.
yeah. But I really want to have an experience, like a professional experience here in Germany.
Mm,
Even like I work 24/7 basically, because like when you work for yourself, it's
mm,
a lot harder to
yeah,
stop and to put a limit on it. But I really want to like have an experience working for a company, some service or product or company that I can relate with,
yeah.
that I can really see myself working. And because Berlin has so many like startups and companies
Very
like
true.
on a
Yeah,
travel segment especially,
yeah,
like they will be nice because I already work with this, and
yeah,
like working in a startup that is in this travel segment will be very nice. So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to do something like this.
yeah.
Also, I would like to travel more and more. um
Mhm.
Enjoy this opportunity of like living in Europe and getting
Yeah,
to know different places, not just like different countries, but Germany also has so many beautiful cities, and I really like to get to know more.
yeah.
So yeah, like that. Those are my plans for now.
That's excellent. So me, last two questions, and then we go to Q&As, if possible. So, I mean, we know that you are already in the, digital marketing space already. However, we just want to know how has, your degree in masters in digital marketing helped you in terms of your future career ambitions or what you're currently undertaking, be it your personal projects. How has it helped you?
Oh, a lot, because you know um, I've been working with digital marketing for the past 8 years, but
Mm,
it's different when you were like studying, like
okay.
taking time in your week to think
Okay.
about what you're doing. Because I
Yeah.
felt like, working alone and like creating videos, and sometimes we just like go with the flow.
Yeah.
Just doing things that you don't even think much
Think
more about.
about, yeah.
Yeah, and like having this time like at class
Mm-hmm.
to get to know more about like new platforms or
Yeah.
like new strategies or
Yeah.
like the theory behind so many things that I've been doing and really didn't know why, but I was just like doing. It's so nice because it really helps me to think differently. It really helps my creativity.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's fantastic.
it's epic. Oof, wow. Okay. That's interesting. So, I mean, just to also share a bit of my experience as well.
Sure.
Of course, coming into BSBI, I sort of had tremendous work experience. So I was looking for an opportunity or an institution where you, where I can actually relate to, or whatever I'm about to learn, it should be able to translate into what my career ambitions are. And what I found interesting, actually, part of the reasons why I decided to even, you know, make my initial deposit in the first place
Yeah.
was, of course, the fact that I took a look at the individual program offerings as compared to other institutions, what they were offering and what I am used to in terms of what is applicable in my current, work field or my field of work. And I found
Mhm.
it very interesting that there was a lot of, direct correlations. And also in class, you realize that every topic, you're able to resonate with every topic because it is highly applicable. So, I mean, to me, as a currently working with BSBI, this just tells you, you know, the importance of some of the degrees that, of course, the institution offers, and the fact that it actually does prepare you for the job market.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
it's definitely will be easy for you to get a job. I mean, I don't think anyone is promising the fact that we are handing you a job on a silver platter. But of course, I mean, if you go through the experience, I can say that because I have graduated, so I can say that. And I also have experience with, applying to a couple of jobs.
Yeah,
So, I mean, rest assured, everything that I have learned, applying it in my current field of work was pretty much easy peasy for me. And
that's
to
awesome.
me, but definitely, I would also mention that I probably think I'm the ideal, I don't want to say ideal BSBI alumni, but I just think I got my money's worth. I got my
Yeah,
return on investment at the end of the day, and that's what matters. So yeah,
yeah, yeah. That's awesome to hear. Yeah, especially
perfect.
because like you already are graduated, so
Yeah,
that's nice to
yeah.
hear. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I think we have one last question, and then we jump to the Q&As. And
Okay.
then, I mean, if you could also help in, answering some of the Q&As, would be much appreciative. So, what are your last words or what advice would you give to all students of BSBI coming into Germany? I know this
Um,
sounds repetitive, but we still want to hear.
I I think I would say like more practical things that could be like one of the things you already say that was like try to learn at least a little bit of Germany
Yeah,
of
yeah,
German
yeah,
because and also about the country. That would be nice to understand a
yeah,
little bit about the country as well. Um, but that would be very helpful. Also, not just like talking about Germany, but in general, I think when you move abroad to
yeah,
study, you need to be like very open,
yeah,
get to know and really put in your mind that you're
yeah,
gonna meet a lot of people that are totally different than you.
yeah,
And it's not because they're different, they're like weird or they're like, less, I don't know, it's just like how it's just how we see beauty in things and
yeah,
how world works because it like you're not more anymore in your bubble.
yeah.
um, so you need also of course to respect others and to see that people are different, and that's the beauty in world
Mhm.
basically.
Yeah, yeah, true. Absolutely correct. Wow. I mean, just to add a few to what you've said, I mean, network. Like I said, network from your class to everywhere you go. Just even if you're not a social being, try and make the effort to network as much as possible. You're going to need it in assimilating into the German society. You're going to need it when it comes to the job market as well. I mean, believe you me, your CV is good, but at the end of the day, if you have a great network, you can get a friend who could link you up to one or two things. So, I mean, it's basically that's what I did. As a matter of fact, I made a lot of friends on, in my class, which was of course culturally diverse. I made a lot of friends outside of my class as well, and also joined a lot of communities. So that's a bit of my 2 cents to incoming students.
Yeah, and not only like professionally, but like for example, I just moved to a new apartment, and we just got
Oh,
this apartment because of like a person that we knew, you know. So
ah,
we're like
yeah,
very lucky. So
yeah, true.
like
Yeah,
networking can really help you
yeah,
in different ways.
yeah, perfect. Wow, okay, so guys, let's move to the Q&As, and let me take a look to see which questions we have here. Hi, Maria. Okay, give me okay, kindly give me a second, guys. Okay. Okay, so we have a question from Radu, who asked, "What are the top 10 things you shouldn't miss when visiting Berlin?" Oof,
Ooh,
I mean, you should be talking about top 100 things, not top 10, because there are a lot of things
definitely. Oh my God.
to do in Berlin. Me, do you mind, since you are more well traveled and more traveled, I think you would be best. You can best, not to put you on the spot, but I feel you can best answer this question for me. I
Okay,
mean,
and if I
I'll chip
didn't
in
get
as well.
10, if I didn't get 10, you help me. But
Yeah, I'll add
basically,
after it.
the first thing that comes to my mind is like go to Mauer Park on Sunday. That is so like fun.
Yeah,
Um, Also, the museums in
yeah,
Museum Island are so nice. Even if you don't really like museums, just the area,
yeah,
it's very beautiful. I think Berlin is a lot about like diversity. So if you
yeah,
like different type of like cuisines, you're gonna find
yeah,
anything you want. And this is one of the things that I most like. I try to visit at least one new restaurant every week,
yeah,
and I feel that I could live 3 lives here, and then I will not manage to visit them all because there's
yeah.
so many options. And especially like I'm vegan, and Berlin is like the
Oh,
capital of veganism,
yeah,
so just awesome for me as well. So you're gonna eat
mm,
very good in here. Also, if you want some like traditional German food, you're gonna
yeah,
find it.
yeah.
Uh, Also, let me see what
I mean,
else.
basically, I'm sure you've mentioned most of them, but just to chip in, Berlin itself is sort of like a tourist city as well. There about every corner has sort of like a tourist attraction.
Yeah,
So as me said, we are here in Berlin. This is not a matter of, top 10 things. Just go out there, put yourself out there, visit a lot of places, either by yourself, with a couple of friends, or I mean, even with family, or however you want to do it. But just put yourself out there, visit a lot of places as much as possible. Every corner has a tourist attraction. So you basically do not even have to spend a lot in terms of getting to know the city. You basically just pay the public transport about a few euros per day, and you get to tour the entire city. I mean, basically even in one day if you want to. So I would definitely recommend you all do that. Me, do you have anything to add?
oh yeah, definitely. And like there's so many like historical things also.
Yeah,
So if you want to get to know more about the history of Germany, you're gonna like have attractions to get to know more this part better. Um, the museums are bomb.
yeah,
The art galleries, East Side Gallery, it's cool.
yeah,
The parks, like
like,
Berlin is so green. So
yeah.
especially now during like spring and summer, it's so nice to
So
go to a
cool.
park, have a
Yeah,
picnic, and just have fun with your friends or your family.
yeah,
I think those are like the typical things to do in Berlin. Just like
yeah,
you know put yourself out and just like get to know the street.
yeah.
um just walk around, you're gonna find a lot of things that you're gonna love it.
Yeah. And most importantly, do not miss Alexanderplatz, the TV tower. Do
Oh,
not miss
tower.
Brandenburger Tor.
I have
Do
so
not
many
miss the
pictures of
visit.
this tower, really.
I saw it on your Instagram. I was like, Gail,
Yeah, like I'm so in love.
I know. Do not miss the Museum Island. And I mean, always remember to do the boat cruise, especially if you are coming either for the May intake or for the October intake. The boat
Oh, I
cruise is
didn't
very
do
important.
yet.
You
The
haven't
boat.
yet. We need to plan to go for the boat trip then.
Yeah, please.
It's amazing. It's amazing. What else is there to do? I mean, there are lots of things I've literally just even lost count. And so, well, I mean, for now, not to, you know, okay. Okay, so I mean, for now, not to waste a lot of time. So basically, moving to the next question, Radu asked again. Okay, Radu, you seem to be very interested. I hope you're a student, though. So Radu asked, what is, the biggest challenge faced when you move into Berlin? I think we've already discussed that,
Yeah,
Radu.
I think that was the bureaucracy in the language that was totally different,
Yeah,
but I managed to to understand more about German right now, and
yeah,
also like I try to understand how things works,
yeah,
and like it's a lot of paperwork, but you're gonna be fine. It's probably
yeah,
gonna have you're gonna have a lot of people to help you out with it, like
definitely.
especially BSBI team. Just make sure to ask them what you want, and they will be willing to help you.
Yeah. I mean, just to address that in terms of some of the challenges. I mean, you mentioned the German bureaucracy. To me, I think the bureaucracy is what is shaped, the entire country and where it is. And it also makes life easier for you, the student. So there are processes. Once you follow the process, you have no issues at all.
Exactly.
Literally. So, I
It's
mean,
just
if
more
you,
about
if
like understanding how it works. Like
exactly,
it's not something difficult. It's just
it's
like
not.
it's a lot of things to understand, but you get it. You're gonna get
Yeah,
it. It's just like just take like maybe a few moments, a few days to
yeah,
understand how things like
yeah.
really works. But since you know that, um, just things just works because
Yeah.
you did what you had to do, what you were supposed to do, and now you'll be fine.
Literally. Okay, wow. Thank you so much for answering that question for me.
No,
Okay,
no problem.
so moving to the next, we have Larissa who asked, do you have any suggestions on when to apply for master's program? Any other tips on this process? Larissa, yes, first question is what master's program do you want to apply to? We have a wide range of master's programs. So question is which of them do you want to apply to? But either ways, if you're looking for tips as to, you know, for any other tips on this process, well, the tips is that once you're sent, the list of admission requirements, sit down, take a look at the list, ensure you have all these documents because, i.e., at the end of the day, you're going to be picking all these documents that you'll be using for the admission process for the visa application process. So if you don't have the documents to secure an admission, you ain't going to get the visa at the end of the day. So I think this is just, it's a simple process, in my opinion. But just to address any suggestion when to apply for the master's program, BSBI currently has about 4 to 5 intakes per year, depending on the program. You can apply for February intake. There's May intake as well. There's July intake. There's August intake. There's October intake. So answer these two questions. Which program do you want to study? One, two, which of the intakes do you want to join? Three, do you have all the required documents to secure an admission? If you have them, you're good enough to go. You're going to need those same documents for your visa application process. It's easy peasy and simple as that. Okay, me, do you have anything to add?
No, I think you did gratefully.
Okay, that's perfect. Thanks. Okay, so moving on to the next, we have Praveen. Praveen, you asked, I am a future MSc Digital Marketing student for the October intake. Okay, that's excellent. Have you gone through the process already? So I would like to know more about the campus, the support for foreign students who came out of their comfort zone. I mean, me and I just shared all our experiences with you regarding, um, you know, I mean, the support we received. and all of that. But me, would you want to take this, or would you?
Um, could you repeat that, please? Because I didn't
Okay,
catch.
so okay, don't worry about it. So Praveen asked, he said that he is a future student of BSBI. He's also coming to study your program, which is the
Mm,
MSc Digital Marketing, which is for the October 2022 intake.
awesome.
Now, he says he would like to know more about the campus and the support to foreign students who have come out of their comfort zone. So
Oh,
first, perhaps I'll talk about the campus, and then you can also talk about the support bit.
yeah.
Fair
Well,
enough.
the campus as well, like is in a very good location. It's close to Potsdamer Platz. It's easy to go by U-Bahn, S-Bahn, bus. Like there's everything around. Um, it's a building with like two hugest floors, and I think like something that I like it's because it's very like well organized.
Yeah, in
Um,
Central.
you don't really see like the crowd things, you know, there are too many people at once.
Yeah,
Um, the classrooms are like very comfy, and you we have everything that we need, the computer for the teachers, even like for like we're having a hybrid class, so even for the people that are like having classes online,
yeah.
it's awesome because the professor can teach on
Hmm.
campus, but also he has a webcam to, you know, to teach online.
Yeah.
Um, what else? When it comes to like to support, the BSBI has student team,
So,
student
yeah,
support. It's a how's it called?
the student services. So,
Student
when
service.
it comes to the
Yeah.
support, basically, from being a prospective student to being a current student, rest assured you're going to be supported, right from inquiry to till you graduate. And as an experience or as a living testimony, I am still being supported by BSBI, i.e., basically, as you know, I'm a program consultant here. So in terms of the support, we have the student services here, who would always attend to you should you have, any requests or basically any issues at all. You would be attended to. We also have the program coordinators team. We have the assessment team, which is also here on campus. So if you're having any challenges with your grades, of course, you just need to come and meet with them, share what your grievances are, and every single person on the campus is responsible for your well-being. They are responsible for ensuring that you not only succeed, as a student, but as a matter, once you are done with your studies, the entire institution wants to be sure that you are going to succeed after you graduate from BSBI. So at the end of the day, pre your enrollment, during your enrollment, and post your enrollment, you know that BSBI has got your back. What else do you want? So that's the question.
Yeah.
Literally. I wanted to apply to other schools in UK and all of that. I didn't get the support that I got with BSBI, even with the admission process. I immediately I entered an inquiry. I got a call from someone. Other institutions do not provide this kind of services. And you are getting someone to hold your hand right from the inquiry stage. So you being a student, even right when you enroll as a student, you have the entire BSBI staff at your disposal. Even after you graduate, whenever you come back to BSBI, you have the BSBI alumni community to fall back on. You also have the entire BSBI staff. I don't think any other institution could provide you with this much support as BSBI does, to be honest with you. So back to the next question. Larissa, you mentioned that you're doing MA in Innovation and Entrepreneurship. Okay, that's a very, very good program. This is a 2-year program offered by CUC, which is a highly accredited institution. So of course, kudos to that. Your accreditation will not only be valid in Germany, to be valid in, of course, in Europe, UK, in America. So, Larissa, best of luck in your application. And if you mind sharing your email address, we'll get in contact with you. Or personally, I'll get in contact with you and provide you with the needed support just in case you need any. Okay, so best of luck, Larissa. Okay, so basically, I think, let me see. Okay, so we don't have any further questions. So, for now, I think we have almost exceeded our meeting time. So, I mean, if you have any questions, kindly send your questions to the email address detailed on the chat, and of course, we'll always get back to you. All right, so it was really lovely to have you on today's webinar.
Oh, the pleasure was all mine. I really had fun, and sorry guys again
Yeah.
about my camera. Hopefully
That's
next
okay.
time we're gonna like maybe be both of us on campus and
Yeah, yeah, I think that would be much more ideal. So let's do that next time, me.
yeah.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining today's webinar. We really appreciate the time you took to stay in the entire call and actually listen to us share our experiences with you. We look forward to meeting you and more, for the next webinar. So have a nice day, stay safe, take care. See you soon.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Thank you very
Bye.
much.
Bye, me.
Bye.